This DVD assumes you know the basic rules of how to play blackjack. If you need to learn them, you can find them at www.expertinsight.com. Are you ready to leave Las Vegas a winner? Hi, I'm Andy Bloch. 10 years ago, I started playing blackjack for profit with the infamous MIT Blackjack team. Since then, our teams have earned more than $5 million. In this Expert Insight presentation, I'm going to teach you the skills I learned on the MIT team. I'm going to teach you how to play basic strategy, how to count cards, and how to spread your bets. Then I'm going to teach you how to camouflage your skill and use team play to make some serious money. By the end of this DVD, you'll know how to beat blackjack like I did with the MIT team. Come along with me as I play some real blackjack in a fictional casino with some fictional players. The first step in beating blackjack is basic strategy, knowing whether to hit, stay, double down, or split. Give me a 10. Face card. It isn't hard to learn, and I'll show you how in a minute. Alright, the dealer's showing a 10 and I have a soft 18. You'll see that basic strategy teaches us that facing a 10, we should hit this hand. I'll take one. Ouch. Now I have 14. Facing a 10, I have to hit that too. Great.
Nice hitting on the 18, buddy, all right? You took all the sixes. Come on, give me a 5.
This guy doesn't know basic strategy.
All right, where'd you learn how to play, rookie?
Blackjack is beatable because cards aren't shuffled every hand. And, depending on the remaining cards, the advantage can swing to the player. This means you can keep track of the cards that have already been dealt, and then determine whether the cards remaining are more favorable to you or to the casino. Fortunately, the system I'm going to teach you for counting cards is pretty simple, even if you didn't go to MIT. Finally, blackjack is beatable because you're allowed to vary your bet. I'm going to teach you how to vary your bet based on the count, so you're betting more when you have an advantage. This is called optimal betting.
All right.
21.
Hey,
There we go.
hot table?
All right.
Now it is. Most tourists play at a 2 to 4% disadvantage to the house, but not you. You're going to combine basic strategy, card counting, and optimal betting and play at a 1% advantage over the house. Casinos don't like when you have the advantage, so I'm going to teach you how to disguise your abilities so they keep welcoming you back.
14.
You'll see that sometimes playing incorrectly is the right choice, just to convince the house that you're like every other tourist.
20.
Can I see the next card?
I'm sorry, sir, we're not.
I know they can't show me that card. Anything to convince the house that I'm just another chump. When you start making big money playing blackjack, casinos will start noticing your game. For me, that's part of the fun. Basic strategy is the mathematically correct way to play, based only on your cards and the dealer's up card. The basic strategy chart included with this DVD gives you the correct play for every possible situation at the blackjack table. It will show you whether you should hit, stand, split, double, or surrender. You look across the top of the chart for the dealer's up card and along the left side for the hand that you hold. Let's say you have a 9 and the dealer has a 6 up. The chart says to double down. The chart is broken down into 5 sections. The sections make basic strategy easy to learn by grouping similar types of hands together. For For instance, this section tells you that when you have a total of 11 or less, you should always hit or double down. The same holds true for when you have soft 13 through soft 17. You should always hit or double. With soft 19 and 20, you should always stand. Soft 18 has a few ways to be played, and everybody loves a blackjack. There's one section just for pairs. Always split aces. Always split eights. Never split fives or tens. With every other pair, you're almost always splitting, hitting, or doubling. With a pair of nines, you should stand against a 7, 10, or ace. There's also a chart that tells you whether to hit, stand, or surrender when you hold a hard 12 through 16. Learning this chart is easier than you think. Don't worry if it takes time, but do learn this chart. It is the basic building block of beating blackjack. This chart is based on typical Las Vegas Strip casino rules. Shoe contains 6 decks. Blackjack pays off 3 to 2. You can double down on any 2 cards. You can double down after splitting. First hand, 11, double down. 21. Resplitting is allowed. Some casinos hit on soft 17. This affects basic strategy in only a few instances. Notice that insurance isn't listed. Insurance is for suckers and for card counters. Since you're not counting yet, just playing basic strategy, you should never take insurance. By playing perfect basic strategy, you'll be cutting down the casino's edge from up to 4% to under 0.5%. Look at it this way. A typical tourist who visits Vegas for a weekend plays about 6 hours of blackjack, which translates to around 1,000 hands. If this tourist is betting $25 per hand and losing 2% on average, he can expect to lose around $500. But if this tourist applied perfect basic strategy, he can expect to lose about $100. He saved $400 just by memorizing a chart. Obviously, our goal is to make money, not just lose less. We'll get to the winning part when we start counting cards and varying our bets. I suggest you keep a chart with you and play at a casino with it until you know basic strategy without even thinking. Most casinos don't mind you referring to a chart when playing. In fact, they probably like it because it indicates to them that you are a novice player and pose no threat. If you don't have easy access to a casino, there are software programs that let you practice for free by playing in a simulated casino. Go to www.expertinsight.com/blackjacktoolbox for details. Basic strategy summary. Using a chart in a casino is legal, even encouraged. Basic strategy cuts the house's edge and saves you money. Just in case you thought I was kidding the first 3 times I said it, I really mean it. Use the chart. Let's head back to the fictional casino and look at basic strategy in action. Since the casino still has an advantage, I want to find the table that gives me value for my money. This'll do. Hi.
Hi.
2,000, please.
I'm going to be betting 100 a hand.
Change 2,000.
2,000 will give me a nice cushion for now. We'll talk more about bankroll and how much to bring to the table a little later.
All right, players, make your bets. Here we go. 5, 6, 8, 9. 8, 9.
It doesn't matter what card the dealer gets. I know that the basic strategy card says to always split eights. Now, let's look at the girls' hands and see what basic strategy would advise them to do. Always hit or double down when you have 11 or less. You can't bust.
8 hits, 15. 15 on a 9.
When you have a hard 15 and the dealer has a 9, You've got to take a hit.
20, congratulations. 9 on a 9.
You already know to always hit or double down when you have 11 or less.
Hit. 17 on a 9. Stay.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, my turn. Let's look at the order in which I make my basic strategy decisions. My first decision is whether or not to split or surrender. We already know to always split 8s.
8.
Now I have 2 hands.
11.
My second decision is whether or not to double down. With an 11 against the dealer's 9, I should double down.
Double that.
Double down. Here we go. 21.
It's always fun when it works.
15.
My final decision is whether to hit or stand. You've got a hit of 15 versus the dealer's 9.
Hit again.
6.
25.
Oh well, that happens too. At least I know I played it right.
And 16 against the 9.
Can I surrender?
She can do whatever the hell she wants.
You can surrender.
Many beginners haven't even heard of surrender, and most casinos don't offer it. But it's favorable if you know when to surrender. The basic strategy card will tell you when you should surrender. Just one more reason to learn the card, folks.
Dealer opens up 14. 14 hits. 24. Congratulations, you guys win.
Let me get this straight. So the only way to win money in blackjack is by counting cards?
Basically.
Don't you have to be a genius to do that?
Don't you have to be a genius to count cards? Not at all. In fact, on the MIT team, we used to say we could teach plywood to count cards. But before I show you how simple counting really is, let me explain why it works. Blackjack professionals count because as cards are taken out of the shoe, the edge swings towards you or towards the casino, depending on what the remaining cards are. When there are a lot of 10s and aces left in the deck and fewer low cards, the deck favors the player. That's mostly because blackjack becomes more likely and the player gets paid a 50% bonus on every blackjack. The card counting system I'm going to teach is called high-low. It's simple to learn, yet powerful enough to serve as the preferred counting system for the MIT Blackjack team. Here's how it works. Low cards, 2 through 6, are good when removed and are assigned the value +1. High cards, 10s through aces, are bad when removed and are assigned the value -1. The middle cards, 7, 8, and 9, are mostly neutral and assign the value of 0. You always want to start counting at the beginning of a shoe, starting with 0. Let's practice. The 5 is a low card, +1. The 7 is worth 0, so the count stays at +1. The 5 is worth 1, so the count goes to +2. Another low card brings us to +3. 8s are 0. We stay at +3. An ace is -1. The count drops to +2. The 6 is worth 1 and brings us to +3. The soft 18 would double down. So would the 11. The queen is worth -1, so our running count goes down to +2. +3. +4. +3. See, you don't have to be a genius to count cards. You just have to practice. Let's try it a little faster now. And I'll only say the running count, not the value of each card, starting again at 0. +1, +2, +1, +2, +3, +2, +3. Once again, a little faster, starting from 0, with no yellow numbers to help you. -1, -1, 0, +1, 0, 0, +1, +2, +2, +3, +2, Here are a few practice drills that we found effective on the MIT team. You should always carry a deck with you. Count down an entire deck. If you do it correctly, the count will come out to 0. Try determining if the last card is going to be low, middle, or high. When you're counting right, you'll know what it is. Deal cards on a table while keeping the count. Deal the cards out while saying the total of each hand. If you can get a friend to deal to you, there are some great drills you can do with a partner. Have a partner deal to you as you try to play and count at the same time. Do the same thing, but this time have the dealer say the card values out loud. The stress test, or the checkout. While your partner deals and tries to distract you, count down and play 3 full shoes. If you can get through all 3 shoes, making less than 3 mistakes total, you're ready to try your new skill in a casino. Okay, we have a new shoe. Time to start counting. In a casino environment, counting cards is much more difficult than in a practice environment. Sometimes you only get to peek at the cards that have been dealt. Try your best to spot the cards and keep the correct count. Do you know the count? If you got 0, good for you.
13 on a 5. Stay. 16 on a 5.
I hope she didn't buy that chart from a casino gift shop. Some of them are wrong and for different rules.
I'm gonna stay.
Stay.
Double that.
Soft 16 double. Here we go. 19.
Okay.
19 stay. Dealer opens up. 15. Hit the 15. 17.
Okay, so what's the count? The count is +1. If you were correct, good job. If you weren't, don't worry. This is going to take some practice. One thing that makes counting cards easier is grouping pairs of cards in your head that cancel each other out. Let's take a look at that same hand again, and let's not start counting until the second face-up cards are dealt. That way, we can pair cards together more easily. I wish this dealer would get his big head out of the way. The queen and the 3 cancel. The 6 and the jack cancel. My ace and 5 cancel. I don't even pay attention to the 9. After all my training, the 7s, 8s, and 9s are practically invisible. My eyes jump right over them. So I'll group this 10 with the dealer's 5. The 10 and the 5 cancel. So right now, the count is 0.
13 on a 5. Stay. 16 on a 5.
I'm gonna stay.
Stay.
Double that.
Soft 16 double. Here we go.
The 3 makes a count +1.
19.
Okay.
19 stay. Dealer opens up. 15. Hit the 15. 17.
The 2 cards we hadn't seen yet, the queen and the 2, also cancel. The count remains +1. Now that you have the correct count, it's important to remember this number as we move to the next hand.
All right, players, make your bets.
Remember, our running count is at +1. Can you group these next cards to see which cancel and which affect the count?
11, 6, and the dealer opens up a 6.
How are you doing with the count? Right now the count is +8.
Hit. 19 on a 6. Stay. 10 on a 6. Hit. 19. 19 on a 6. Stay. 11 on a 6. Double down. Here we go. 12.
Great, thanks dealer. Can you still keep the count with all the numbers being called out? Right now we're at +6.
6s on a 6. Hit. 17. 17 on a 6. Stay.
Some casinos encourage dealers to say as many numbers as possible to throw off card counters.
Dealer opens up. 16. Here we go. 16. 26. There we go.
Okay, what's the count? If you're at +5, you're doing a great job. Let's watch this hand again. Try to see if any of the players make a basic strategy mistake as you keep the count.
9 on a 6. hit,
Oops. That's a basic strategy mistake. She was supposed to double a 9 against a 6.
19 on a 6. Stay. 10 on a 6. Hit.
That was another basic strategy mistake. You should also double a 10 against a 6. Okay, what's the count? Remember, it was +1 going into this hand. The count is +7.
19. 19 on a 6. Stay. Double down.
We already know I made the right basic strategy decision. And got a terrible card.
6s on a 6.
What would you do with 2 6s against a 6? You'd split them, right?
Hit. 17. 17 on a 6. Stay. Dealer opens up. 16. Here we go. 16. 26.
Well, even though the ladies didn't play it as they should have,
Let me see that chart.
the dealer was kind enough to bust for us.
Aren't you supposed to double on a 10 against a 6?
Yeah, you do want to double on that. Guess the chart's wrong.
Guess so.
Okay, time to get serious. The current running count is +5. One more hand at casino speed. Remember, we're starting at +5. 5, 7,
2s.
9,
18.
9.
Dealer opens up. 7.
Still at 9. For the rest of the hand, you're going to have to count it yourself. See if you can keep the count.
12 on a 7. Hit. 15 on a 7. Hit you. 21. Very nice. 10 on a 7. Feeling lucky. Double down or split? Double down. Here we go. 16. Deuces? Split the deuces. Here we go. First deuce. Ooh, 11.
Double down.
Double down on the 11. Very nice. 20 on the deuce. Here we go. Up.
Split again.
Split again. There we go.
God, this guy's a slob.
7 on a 7. 17. 8. Hit. 17. 17 stay.
How you doing with the
On
count?
a 7.
Is the dealer distracting you?
21.
Nice.
Very nice. All right. Dealer opens up for 9. 19.
The running count is +15. If you were able to keep count, you're on a roll. At 15, the count is getting favorable, especially considering the number of decks remaining in the shoe. The advantage has swung from the casino to us, because there are a lot of 10s and aces left in the shoe. Now is the perfect time to learn optimal betting. You've got basic strategy down pat, you count to perfection. Now it's time to start making money by varying your bet optimally. First, before you start play, you have to determine your betting unit. Then, when you have the advantage and the count's favorable, you bet in multiples of your betting unit according to the count. Let's get started determining your betting unit. Your bankroll is what you're willing to invest in yourself as a blackjack player. If you want to do this for serious profit, you need to invest in yourself over time. Your betting unit should be 1/1000th of your total bankroll. Your bankroll is how much money you're willing to lose without going crazy. For each session, your cash on hand should be at least 32 betting units. If you're going to bet $10 a hand, you should bring about $350 to the table. If you want to bet $25 a hand, be prepared to sit down with $800. For this demonstration, my bankroll will be $200,000. What can I say? The MIT team was very profitable for me. My betting unit will be $200. As you learn to play, you should start off with a much smaller unit until you have confidence in your abilities. Raise or lower your unit as your bankroll changes. Say I lose $100,000, half of my bankroll. I would then drop my unit to $100. What if I win $300,000? In this case, my bankroll would be $500,000, and I'd raise my unit to $500. By constantly adjusting your betting unit, you will never go broke, and your bankroll will increase faster in the long run. Your maximum bet should be at least 4 times your betting unit. Won't get you kicked out of the casino. In our case, our maximum bet is at least $800. Never bet more than a quarter of the money you have on you on one round, because you always want to have enough money to be able to split and double down. So now we know our unit and maximum bet, and we figured out how much money to bring to the casino. It's time to learn how to calculate our optimal bet based on the count. First, we take the running count and divide it by the number of decks remaining. We know our running count is plus 15, but how many decks remain? We can estimate how many decks remain by looking at the number of discards. Considering that this casino uses a 6-deck shoe, how many decks would you say remain to be dealt? This takes a little practice. On the MIT team, we practiced with discard trays, just like they use in casinos. There are 6 decks of cards in this discard tray. Remember what they look like. Now we can take the cards out and split the pile in half. Now each half is about 3 decks. Here's 3 decks. Remember what this looks like. Let's see what 2 decks look like. We can cut into 3 equal piles. Here's 2 decks. Let's add 2 more. 4 decks. Let's add 1 more deck. And 5 decks. Study these images long enough, and you'll be able to guess very accurately how many decks remain in the shoe. And you'll know this song by heart too. Now that we can accurately estimate the remaining decks in the shoe, we're ready to determine our optimal bet. Optimal betting. First, keep an accurate running count. Approximate the number of decks remaining. They're using a 6-deck shoe, so take the number of decks you see in the discard tray and subtract it from 6. That's how many decks are remaining in the shoe. Divide the running count by the number of decks remaining. This is called the true count. Subtract 1 from the true count to determine how many units to bet. Multiply the number of units to bet by your betting unit. Play 2 hands at a time on spots next to each other and bet that amount per hand. If you're the only player at the table, or if you can only play 1 hand, bet 25% more on 1 hand. Back in the fictional casino, our running count got up to 15. There were about 5 decks remaining in that shoe. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 is our true count. 3 minus 1 equals 2, so we should bet 2 units. If your result is ever less than 0, bet as little as you can without drawing too much attention to your bet. Even sit out if you can get away with it. Ideally, you don't ever want to place a bet when you don't have an advantage. But if you sit out or leave every time you don't have an advantage, the casino will suspect that you are a card counter. A quick review before I put out my money. Our running count is at plus 15. The blonde laughed at my jokes but won't give me her phone number. We've played through about 1 deck, so there are about 5 decks remaining. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Our true count is plus 3. Now we subtract 1 from our true count of 3, and we get 2. So we bet 2 units. So I'm going to bet 200 times 2, or $400 on each hand.
Here we go. 19, 18, 10, 18, 16,
What's the dealer got over
17. What does the dealer have? Dealer has a deuce. 19 on a 2, stay. 18 on a 2, stay.
there? Of course I'm going to double my 10 against the dealer's deuce. I learned that on my basic strategy card. Double that.
Double on the 10.
Nice. 19.
Very nice.
Good
18, stay. 16 on a deuce. Stay.
Are you still keeping track of the count?
Here we go. Dealer opens up a 6 and 10, 15, 21. Oh,
That was a bummer. As a blackjack player, there are going to be many times when the cards just don't fall your way. The good news is that even though we lost that hand, the running count went up by 4, and now is a very juicy plus 19. Did you get 19? If you didn't, watch that section of the DVD again until your count is coming out the way it should. There's about 4 3/4 decks left. 19 divided by 4 3/4 is, well, it's too difficult to figure out at the blackjack table. So let's make things easier on ourselves. I'm rounding the number of decks remaining up to 5, and I'm also going to round the running count up to 20, which is a multiple of 5. Because I'm rounding both numbers in the same direction and then dividing, the result will still be close. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Our true count is plus 4. 4, our true count, minus 1 is 3. So I'm going to bet 3 times my unit, or $600.
checks play.
The pit boss checked me out when I raised my bet. That doesn't always mean I'm in trouble. It could mean he's tracking my play so he can offer me a comp. Or maybe he's just lonely. Keep track of the count as the hand progresses. Remember, we started this hand at plus 19.
20. Very nice. 20 again.
Blackjack!
Wow. Big hands.
Right.
20. Wow. Great hands. And dealer opens up 10. 21. Congratulations. 15. Here we go. 25. Congratulations.
What's the running count? It was plus 19 at the beginning of the hand. 2 big cards drop the count by 2. 2 more big cards do it again. The blackjack was worth minus 2. 2 kings means subtract 2 more. The 9 is invisible, and my ace cancels with the dealer's 5. 2 more invisible cards. Then 2 more big cards, and the running count drops to plus 9. There are about 4.5 decks left in the shoe. 9 divided by 4.5 is 2. Our true count is 2. The advantage has dropped, so we should lower our bet. The easiest way to spot card counters is by their betting patterns. I recently raised my bet up to $600. Then, many high cards were dealt, which resulted in me reducing my bets to $200. So the pit boss is justifiably suspicious about my play. He may be calling surveillance and asking them to keep an eye on me. To throw them off my scent, I'm going to make some camouflage plays. I'm not going to let them catch me. You've mastered basic strategy, you count cards in your sleep, you never fail to put out the correct bet. It's time to get rich, right? Well, not so fast. The casinos that once welcomed your amateur play, they're not going to be so happy about your action now that you've become a skillful player. There are 2 ways to camouflage your play: good acting and bad playing. Good acting is essentially behaving like a typical gambler and not like a typical card counter. This seems obvious, but it actually can be pretty challenging to play and act while at the same time keeping the count and determining how much to bet. Here are some examples of good acting. Acting uninterested in other players' cards. Talking to the other players at the table. Pretending to chase a winning streak when the count is high. Pretending to be drunk. pretending to be a high roller. Bad playing is another good way to make the casino think you're a juicy customer. If you think you're getting too much heat, you might want to make a bad play by going off basic strategy. Here's some examples of bad playing. Making a basic strategy mistake. For example, standing a 16 against a 10. Don't make a mistake that'll cost you too much, like doubling a 12 against a 6. Another way to throw them off is to raise your bet when the count goes down, or you can raise or lower your bet when the count is even. The key is to keep camouflage inexpensive. You're playing blackjack to win money, right? Just remember to save bad plays for those times when you've made small bets, and only use them when necessary. Don't overdo it. I want to remind you that counting cards is perfectly legal. All you're doing is using your skills to beat the game. But obviously, casinos don't like losing their money, and they have the right to ask you to leave at any time for any reason. Because of this, you have to be able to detect heat. You have to develop a sense for when your play is being scrutinized. On the other hand, you don't want to be overly paranoid. Let's consider some common scenarios to see how much we should be concerned about certain behaviors. The pit boss looks at you and then begins scribbling notes. This isn't usually a cause for concern. They might be recording the amount that you're betting so they can offer you a comp. If they offer you a comp, take it. The pit boss starts talking to you. This probably isn't a cause for concern. Act calm and friendly and continue playing. Avoid a confrontation. The pit boss instructs the dealer to shuffle up. This probably means they strongly suspect you're counting. Play a few more hands to put some doubt in their mind, and then leave quietly. The pit boss glares at you and then gets on the phone. This is probably a cause for concern. You should think about leaving if you're not in the middle of a hot shoe, so you can come back another day. The pit boss asks you to stop playing blackjack or to leave. Don't argue, just leave. I'm not going to let the pit boss intimidate me. If he sees me acting nervous, he'll suspect I'm a counter. The key is to play it cool. Our running count is at 9. Because of the low true count, I'm only betting 1 unit on each hand.
Very nice so far.
Good start.
Good start.
All right.
Very nice.
Love getting blackjack. It's better than anything. Well, almost anything.
Dealer opens up a 3.
This looks like a good time for me to make a bad play, but I'm not going to take a hit with a 15 against the dealer's 3.
15 on the 3, stay. 20 on the 3, stay. Here we go. Dealer opens up 6. 12. 22.
You're still counting, right? The running count has dropped to +3. I don't have an advantage, but since I'm about even with the casino, I'm going to make a camouflage play that won't cost me much. I'm going to raise my bet from $200 to $500. When the pit boss sees me raising my bet after a round of almost all face cards, it's unlikely that he'll think I'm a counter. The most effective camouflage happens to cost you nothing. It's called team play. Team play is a division of labor. When it works, it's invisible, nearly impossible to detect. It's where the big money is in the world of blackjack. Here's how it works. Each player on the team has a role. A spotter is responsible for keeping track of the count. When the count is high enough for the players to have the advantage, the spotter signals another player, a gorilla or a big player. A gorilla acts like a high roller or drunk, making large bets based on a signal from the spotter. There are also back spotters or back counters. They count cards from behind the table. When the count is high enough to call in a player, they give a signal. A big player is different than a gorilla. Once they're past the signal, they can keep track of the count and adjust their bets on their own. To an unsuspecting casino, team play is invisible. It's the ultimate camouflage. The team should never meet in the casino where they plan to play. Hey, book a room in another casino. 10 years ago, Kat made a bundle of money with the MIT Blackjack team, so money isn't a motivator for her. It's the buzz of beating the casino that keeps her in the game.
God, I love this city.
How'd he do?
Not bad. Is he an alum?
No, I met him at the tables. Tyler is the newest member of the team. He's a rock-solid counter and will make a great spotter. He's never played for the big money, but I think he'll be able to keep his nerves in check. Hey, how'd it go?
It was great, man.
Good, then you wouldn't mind doing another checkout.
Team members should always practice their skills,
12, 10, 9, 8, 7. Do you come here often?
especially the new members of the
What's
team.
your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name's Kat. Do you know what time it is? Are you staying at the hotel?
Hey, brother.
Hey, where you been? Paul was once the best blackjack player in the world. Recently, he got himself stuck pretty good betting sports. His weakness is emotional control. What's the signal for the deck is hot?
Okay, good. What's the signal for a cold shoe? Paul, get out now.
Come on, you guys. This was like 6 years ago. Can we just drop it?
Okay, let's talk about the target. Which casino should the team target? Here's why we chose our fictional casino. The music awards are in town this weekend, and this casino will be packed with rock stars and high rollers. This casino is going to be taking a lot of action. Their surveillance is going to be stretched thin. In other words, we should be able to put out the big bets without attracting heat. Another reason to choose a casino is deep deck penetration. This casino deals at least 75% of the cards in a shoe, which increases the likelihood of higher true counts. Remember, we all have specific jobs: spotter, big player, and gorilla. There she goes, like a machine. Tyler gave Kat the signal for a positive shoe. Kat came over to the table, and Tyler passed the count with a verbal signal. Then Tyler stuck around to make sure Kat picked up the right count by watching how much she bet. Based on the current team bankroll, our betting unit is 500. Now Tyler's looking for a shoe that's being shuffled or about to be shuffled. That's the way it's done. Keeping records is critical. I've been playing for over an hour and I haven't had a decent shoe. The running count is now +8. The true count is less than 2, not quite enough to signal Paul over. You don't want to call in a big player or a gorilla until the true count gets up to about 3. Try to keep up with the count as the team plays a few hands. We're starting with a running count of 8. Remember, if you wait until the second pass of cards to start counting, it'll be easier to group them. The running count is now +12. There are 3 decks remaining. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Our true count is 4. Subtract 1 to get 3. It's time to start betting 3 times our unit. And it's time to signal in Paul.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, brother.
Unlucky lady, right, dealer?
I hope so.
I wonder if Paul picked up the count.
All right, 15 on each.
He picked up the count and bet the correct amount. I'll just play one hand and Paul will play 2. It's good to mix it up every now and then. You're still counting, right?
Okay.
When things go well, you're gonna have a lot of money out on the table. Keep your head together. You still have to know your basic strategy and remember to count.
Good. Lady Luck, I love you.
After all those cards, the running count is still at 12. Always watch that the dealer pays you off correctly. They're usually not trying to rip you off, they just make mistakes once in a while.
Yeah. Got it. Keep your eye on that guy. Pitt says he's moving his money with the count.
Okay. Let's see what he's up to.
Doesn't Paul see the pit boss? Considering how much he's up, this heat is legitimate.
All right, Pamela. Big cards. Little cards. All right.
How you doing with the count? We started this hand at plus 12.
Double one.
When you split aces, you only get one card on each.
Come on.
16.
That's right. Bust. Damn it. Sorry.
Good. Paul sees the pit boss and will probably make a camouflage play. Our running count is now up to 16. What is he doing? We're only going to bet $2,000 max tonight. He's going to get kicked out. We started this hand with a running count of 16.
Feel it.
I hope you can control yourself better than Paul. Ugh, that hurts. But our running count is up to an incredible 18.
35.
Paul is really exceeding our maximum bet. No one else is betting that much tonight.
Come on, 2 blackjacks. 2 blackjacks, dealer, right now.
We're starting with a running count of 18. Make sure you keep the count. Ah, well, the dealer got blackjack, but the count is still plus 16. There are about 2 decks left in the shoe. Our true count is a very favorable 8.
Yeah, he's moving his money with the count. Too bad the cards aren't falling his way.
Yeah, right.
Come on, we just need to ride out this shoe. The count is so high. Paul has got to keep it together.
Okay.
I'm trying to get his attention.
4.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna kill him.
Good luck.
He's betting like an out-of-control freak. Yeah, we have a very favorable count. But is it worth getting kicked out now?
All right, 19.
Split up.
Splitting tens.
Oh my god. Splitting tens is for morons or counters. Or in this case, moron counters. He's killed himself. He's gonna get kicked out. We have way too much to gain this weekend to be this risky. I hope you're still counting.
Big cards. Big cards. Big cards.
16.
Big cards.
Dealer has 21.
Our running count is up to an astronomical plus 23. The true count is over 13.
Shut the room.
I could have made a killing on that shoe.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, may I have a word with you?
I'm in the middle of something.
Sir, may I please, if you wouldn't mind, step right over here for me?
Money place.
Don't accept this man's money. Sir, don't have me remove you.
That guy in the cowboy hat is Bloch. Andy Bloch, MIT guy. That punk is mine.
She quit.
Cat quit?
What were you thinking? The pit boss was right there and you still split tens.
Yeah, but the count was so high, I couldn't lose.
You got yourself kicked out and you put the rest of the team in jeopardy.
I'm sorry, okay? It won't happen again.
You're right. It won't happen again.
What?
Paula got to kick you off the team.
What?
You can't go back in that casino.
Oh, Andy, come on.
Think about it.
Fine.
Bingo. Right monitor. Keep your eye on the guy in the cowboy hat. Make sure he doesn't leave. Yeah, I know who he looks like, but it's not him. It's Bloch.
Sorry, sir. I'm gonna need you to follow me.
What's the problem?
I need you to go with me right this way, please.
If they think that's me, they're way off. This is me right here, looking very 1978. With Cat gone, our bankroll is smaller, so our betting unit is down to 400.
Was it this crowded on Friday?
That was my verbal signal. The count is plus 13. There are 4 decks left. The true count is about 3. I subtract 1 and get 2. I multiply my current unit by 2, giving me $800. We started this hand at plus 13.
Insurance, anybody?
Because the true count is greater than 3, I'm going to take insurance. When the dealer has an ace, it's critical to count the cards as fast as possible. If they have blackjack, they scoop up the cards very quickly. Did you catch the count? It's now plus 11. Hey, it's Johnny Chan. And Owen Wilson's cousin. I'm only supposed to bet $800 here, 2 units. But I want to vary my bet from Tyler's, so it doesn't look like we're both betting the same amount. Perfect. Our combined bets equal 2 hands at $800 per hand. Tyler's doing a great job. He's supposed to surrender that 16. Ooh, he hits and busts. Any big card. How about a 6? I guess Johnny's sticking to poker.
Good night, everybody.
Tyler remembered to surrender his 15 against the dealer's 10. Our running count is at plus 15. The true count is at 5. 5 minus 1 means we should bet 4 units. I'm going to make an overbet knowing Tyler will even us out. $220s, I like it. And a blackjack for Tyler. $10 in the hole. Come on, bust. There we go. Our running count has dropped to 7. I feel like Howard Stern in this wig. Okay, it's later in the evening, and thankfully, Kat decided to rejoin the team. This is great news. Our betting unit is now up to 1,000.
So Liz, are we here to gamble or are we here to gamble?
Pool still open?
Sorry, closed at 11.
So I'll just keep playing.
It's easy to remember that pool is the verbal signal for 8. The 2 O's in the word pool look like an 8 on its side. The true count is 3, so we'll bet 2 units. But I'm just going to bet 1,000. Watch Tyler. Like clockwork. Tyler saw that I only bet 1,000 when I was supposed to bet 2,000. So he made up the difference by betting the extra $1,000 himself. We're playing on the same bankroll, so the main thing that matters is the average amount wagered per hand. Remember, don't split 9s against a 7. Our running count is up to 9.
There's a rock star being detained in my hallway.
Oh, you're not falling for that accent. That guy is Bloch.
I see. So then tell me, Detective, how did Andy manage to shrink himself 6 inches?
That's Bloch.
This is the last hand for this shoe, and the true count is positive 11. This is awesome. We're spreading bets by a multiple of 10 units. What the hell is he doing here? We're probably already made and they count so high, I'm gonna split tens. Come on, let's see some high cards. Let's go, let's go, let's go. If we could just get this hand play. Damn, here comes the heat. Flip the damn cards. Deal. Come on, dealer, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get this hand play. Deal. Yes, 22. The dealer bust. We just won 80 grand.
Hey! He just cheated me!
Thanks, Paul.
He just
Kind of fun, wasn't it?
A little bit too much fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the other night.
Oh boy.
Is she gonna rip me a new one? I know.
You took one for the team, didn't you?
Thanks, man.
To the team.
The team.
And hey, if you happen to see me playing blackjack, please don't blow my cover by thanking me for this DVD. Thanks again, and good luck.
Excellent. Better luck next time.
Hi.
Hi.
Good player.
2,000.
Hi, Roland. And you got an ace in the
See that? That is so cute.
God, I love this shirt.
This is Final Table Poker. Join Poker King Phil Gordon for this groundbreaking DVD and get inside the mind of a pro.
To win at poker, you've got to be aggressive.
Hear how pros think in the heat of battle.
This board is very threatening, and the pot is already very big.
Let Phil's authoritative lessons mold you into a master.
You must be able to bluff effectively.
With dynamic visuals that bring his tips and tricks to life.
Freeze. Did you see that? That was a tell.
Plus 2 viewing modes to match your skill level, special guest players, and DVD inserts to help you swim with the card sharks.
Gotta stay calm. Gotta stay calm.
Eye-catching.
Whoa, nice chip trick, Butch.
Irreverent.
I'm all in.
I want to puke.
Suspenseful.
Big 9. Big.
This is Final Table Poker.
Yes! Yes!
To order your copy of Final Table Poker on DVD, visit our website at expertinsight.com or call 1-800-555-5555. For more details, visit expertinsight.com.
This is Final Table Poker.
Poker players need very little math to play well. Once and for all, I'm going to show you the correct way of counting outs, using the rule of 4 and 2, and calculating pot odds, so that you'll be able to make winning decisions at the table. Step 1. Counting outs. Here's an example of counting outs. Suppose my hand is the 6 of spades, 5 of spades. The flop comes down Queen of spades, 3 of diamonds, 7 of spades. In this case, my hand has almost no chance of winning unless it improves. If it does improve, I have a very good chance of winning. First, I see I need any spade to make a flush, or any 4 to make a straight. Notice that the 4 of spades appears twice. I'm careful to only count it one time. I have a total of 12 outs. 12 cards can come that will improve my hand to what I hope will be a winning hand. Step 2, the rule of 4 and 2. After I figure out how many outs I have, I use the rule of 4 and 2 to determine how often I'll make a winning hand. Let's start off with the rule of 4. After the flop, I multiply my number of outs by 4 to determine my chances of making a winning hand. In this case, I have 12 outs. 12 times 4 is 48. Therefore, I have about a 48% chance of improving my hand by the river. The rule of 2. After the turn card, I use the rule of 2. Suppose the turn card comes the 8 of clubs. Now I have 15 outs. All the spades make a flush, the 4s will make a straight, and 9s will also make a straight. I now multiply my number of outs by 2, and that tells me that I've got a 30% chance of catching a winning card on the river. Step 3, calculating pot odds. After figuring out my chances of winning by using the rule of 4 and 2, I have to calculate the pot odds to make winning decisions. Suppose the pot has $300 in it. My opponent bets $100. Now the pot contains $400. I'm being asked to call $100 to win $400. My pot odds are 400 to 100, or simplifying that, 4 to 1. If I call $100, my $100 chip will represent 1/5 or 20% of the pot. So I need a 20% chance to win to justify calling. Step 4, making winning decisions. After counting my outs, using the rule of 4 and 2, and figuring out the pot odds, I can make correct winning decisions at the table. This is what it's all about. Suppose I have 5 outs after the flop. 5 times 4 equals 20%. I've got a 20% chance of making my hand. After the bet, there's $200 in the pot. I'm being asked to call 100. I'm getting 2 to 1 pot odds. Therefore, I need a 1 out of 3, or a 33% chance to win to justify calling that $100 bet. I only have a 20% chance of winning, so in this case, folding is the winning decision.
We're here today at the gorgeous Palms Hotel and Casino, where 309 players have ponied up $10,000 to take their chance at winning a piece of the $3 million prize pool. Lady Luck has smiled upon 6 players who will match wits tonight on the felt battlefield. By the end of the night, only one player will remain. Only one player will claim the championship trophy and $750,000 in cash. This is Final Table Poker.
Hi, I'm Phil Gordon. Winning the World Poker Tour event at Bay 101 was one of the most exciting days of my life. All my hard work and study had finally paid off. Have you ever watched a televised poker tournament and wondered what the players at the table were thinking? Why'd they raise? Why'd they go all in? Why'd they call? Why'd they fold? If so, I think this is going to be the absolute perfect video for you. In this first Expert Insight presentation, you're going to listen in on my thought process as I play at a final table very similar to Bay 101. You're going to experience the excitement and pressure of playing at a final table under the lights and on camera. Most importantly, you're going to learn how I make winning decisions at No Limit Texas Hold'em. I should note that the insights in this video assume that you already know the real basics of Texas Hold'em and poker. But if you need a little brushing up, I would suggest that you go to the Expert Insight website for a great explanation of the game. There's going to be a ton of information covered in this video, so I strongly recommend you find a comfortable playing zone before continuing. I'm going to be playing my A game, and I want you on yours as well. Now let's get out there.
Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Now let's take a closer look at the 6 players who will be competing in tonight's event.
Okay, we're back with a $1,000 ante, 3 and 6,000 blinds. Harmony has a button.
All right, I'm still in late position. Haven't won a pot yet.
Chris Ferguson, first act. It's up to Butch.
Man, he plays a lot of hands.
Butch makes it 6,000. That's a call.
All right, great hand, big slick. I'm going to raise with this strong hand here and try to get heads up in position against Butch. I want to get more money into the pot right now.
Phil makes it 40,000.
Call.
And Harmony calls.
Harmony, quick call there. I wonder what she's got. That does not make me very happy. My good position here just went out the window.
Not a KW. Passes.
And around to Bruce. Let's hope he doesn't play.
Bruce lays it down. Back to Butch.
I was really hoping to get heads up with Butch, but doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Who passes?
No, not going to happen. Instead, I'm heads up with Harmony out of position. Great.
Phil Gordon.
All right, hoping for an ace or a king.
And a flop. 10, 7, 4. 3 different suits. Phil Gordon first.
If I check here, Harmony's going to take advantage of her position and bet no matter what she has. After she bets, I'm not going to know if she actually has a hand or if she's bluffing. Because the flop's only 10 high and has 3 different suits, I'm not afraid to be aggressive. Very often in this spot, the first player to the pot wins. By making this play, I might win the pot right now. I'm going to reduce Harmony's power of position by making it more difficult for her to bluff. And if Harmony calls, I can still catch an ace or a king on the turn and hope to have the best hand. To win at poker, you've got to be aggressive, selectively aggressive.
He leads out for 60,000.
Harmony's a great player. She knows what I might be up to, but might is the key word here. Unless she's got a powerhouse hand, Harmony's not going to want to pay 60,000 to find out what I might be up to. That being said, I'm still hoping she folds. Harmony, please fold. Please.
Harmony passes.
She
Phil Gordon
folds.
wins a pot.
And I win my first pot of the final table. Fantastic. Being first to the pot is an effective way of applying selective aggression. When the flop came 10 high with 3 different suits, I selected this as an opportunity to be aggressive, and then I bet right into harmony. I pick my spots carefully, but then I play forcefully. Poker players need very little math to play well. Once and for all, I'm going to show you the correct way of counting outs, using the rule of 4 and 2, and calculating pot odds, so that you'll be able to make winning decisions at the table. Step 1, counting outs. Here's an example of counting outs. Suppose my hand is the 6 of spades, 5 of spades. The flop comes down Queen of spades, 3 of diamonds, 7 of spades. In this case, my hand has almost no chance of winning unless it improves. If it does improve, I have a very good chance of winning. First, I see I need any spade to make a flush, or any 4 to make a straight. Notice that the 4 of spades appears twice. I'm careful to only count it one time. I have a total of 12 outs. 12 cards can come that will improve my hand to what I hope will be a winning hand. Step 2, the rule of 4 and 2. After I figure out how many outs I have, I use the rule of 4 and 2 to determine how often I'll make a winning hand. Let's start off with the rule of 4. After the flop, I multiply my number of outs by 4 to determine my chances of making a winning hand. In this case, I have 12 outs. 12 times 4 is 48. Therefore, I have about a 48% chance of improving my hand by the river. The rule of 2. After the turn card, I use the rule of 2. Suppose the turn card comes the 8 of clubs. Now I have 15 outs. All the spades make a flush, the 4s will make a straight, and 9s will also make a straight. I now multiply my number of outs by 2, and that tells me that I've got a 30% chance of catching a winning card on the river. Step 3, calculating pot odds. After figuring out my chances of winning by using the rule of 4 and 2, I have to calculate the pot odds to make winning decisions. Suppose the pot has $300 in it. My opponent bets $100. Now the pot contains $400. I'm being asked to call $100 to win $400. My pot odds are 400 to 100, or simplifying that, 4 to 1. If I call $100, my $100 chip will represent 1/5 or 20% of the pot. So I need a 20% chance to win to justify calling. Step 4, making winning decisions. After counting my outs, using the rule of 4 and 2, and figuring out the pot odds, I can make correct winning decisions at the table. This is what it's all about. Suppose I have 5 outs after the flop. 5 times 4 equals 20%. I've got a 20% chance of making my hand. After the bet, there's $200 in the pot. I'm being asked to call 100. I'm getting 2 to 1 pot odds. Therefore, I need a 1 out of 3, or a 33% chance to win to justify calling that $100 bet. I only have a 20% chance of winning, so in this case, folding is the winning decision.
Butch has played every hand so far.
Not this one.
Finally lays one down.
When I'm the first player in, I almost always raise. I'm going to raise for 5 reasons. I want to get more money in the pot when I have a good hand. I want to try to limit my competition. I want to try to take control of the betting. I want my opponents to define their hands more clearly. And I've got a chance with a raise to steal the blinds and antes.
Who makes it 25,000?
It's always good to see Harmony fold when I'm in the hand.
Harmony passes.
I'm going to make Phil very happy.
KW out. Bruce lays it down. Back to Chris Ferguson, who calls the 25. Heads up pot. Phil Gordon, Chris Ferguson.
That's interesting. Chris rarely just calls before the flop, so it's pretty possible he's slow playing a good hand.
First 3 cards come down. Queen, 5, 3 with 2 hearts.
Fantastic flop. Top pair, great kicker. I've got good position.
Chris checks it.
I've slow played Chris in situations like this before, but I'm going to bet right out here.
Phil makes it 50,000.
The longer he studies here, the worse I'm feeling about my hand. Yeah, great.
Chris Ferguson's moved all in. Phil Gordon's asked for a count. First they're gonna pull.
All right, it's time to do some simple math. I've got to call $120,000 to win $280,000. If I call and I'm beat, I'm still going to have over $350,000 in chips, and that's more than enough to play solid poker. If I call and I win, though, not only will I have a huge chip stack, but I'll have eliminated my #1 competition at the table. Pot's offering me almost 3 to 1 on my money. I don't really have any choice.
I got a call.